After Warner Brothers' unsuccessful tries at rebooting Tarzan, Sony has stepped in and snagged the rights to bring the jungle hero back to the big screen. This time, some big names are being thrown into the mix for the reboot. Let's dive in. After Warner Brothers' failed attempts to revive Tarzan, Sony has decided to take a shot at bringing the iconic jungle hero back to the big screen. Created by Edgar Rice Burroughs, Tarzan is the orphan son of British aristocrats who ends up being raised by great apes in the African jungle. His story has been reimagined countless times, starting with the 1918 silent film Tarzan of the Apes, and even Disney's beloved animated version in 1999. The last big reboot effort came in 2016 with Warner Brothers' The Legend of Tarzan, directed by David Yates, Harry Potter, and Fantastic Beasts. Despite a star-studded cast, including Alexander Skarsgård, Margot Robbie, Christoph Waltz, and Samuel L. Jackson, the movie flopped. Critics weren't kind, and the studio reportedly lost around $40 million, killing any hopes for a sequel. Now, Sony is stepping in. Having secured the rights from the Burroughs estate, they're planning a total reinvention of the character. Though no writers or directors are attached yet, updating Tarzan for today's audience is going to be tricky, as the character comes from a very different time. Modernizing him will require some serious care and creativity to navigate the cultural and political sensitivities of today. Hopefully, Sony's team can find the right balance and give Tarzan the fresh start he deserves in the 21st century. Rumors are swirling that Timothée Chalamet might take on the role of Tarzan in Sony's reboot, and honestly, he might just be perfect for it. You probably know Chalamet from Call Me By Your Name, Lady Bird, or Little Women, where his performances showcased his charm and emotional depth. But why would he be a great Tarzan? For starters, I imagine Tarzan and Jane as an established Hollywood duo with undeniable chemistry, and Chalamet fits that vision perfectly, especially given his work alongside Saoirse Ronan in Lady Bird and Little Women. The two have a natural on-screen dynamic, and seeing them reunited as Tarzan and Jane could really bring the story to life. Chalamet is already on the path to becoming Hollywood's next big star. Think DiCaprio vibes. So, it's only a matter of time before he dives into a massive franchise, be it Marvel, Star Wars, or a live-action remake. Tarzan feels like a role that would not only play to his strengths, but also give him a chance to tap into something more physical and rugged. Plus, let's be real, the idea of a ripped, shirtless Chalamet with long, flowing hair would probably have fans lining up at the box office. And yes, you're totally using stands correctly. On the flip side, casting Saoirse Ronan as Jane Porter feels like a no-brainer. You've probably seen her shine in Brooklyn, Lady Bird, and Little Women, and her on-screen presence makes her a natural fit for the role of Jane. Here's why Ronan would be perfect. In 20 years, people will look back at Ronan and Chalamet as one of Hollywood's most iconic duos, right up there with legends like Redford and Newman or Stiller and Wilson. Their chemistry is unmatched, and fans can't seem to get enough of them together. Now, imagine Ronan as Jane Porter. Give her some brunette locks, and she's ready to take on the jungle. Ronan excels at playing strong, independent female characters, which is exactly what Jane needs to be. Sure, Jane might need Tarzan's help here and there, but she's proven she can hold her own, both in the story and in the wild. Plus, with Ronan and Chalamet leading the charge, this reboot wouldn't just be a crowd pleaser. It might even catch the attention of awards season voters. Together, they'd bring the heart, depth, and star power to make Tarzan a hit. And let's not forget about Clayton, because every Tarzan story needs a solid antagonist. For this role, I'm picturing none other than Henry Cavill. Now, why Cavill? Honestly, it starts with a mustache. But seriously, Cavill is the first actor who comes to mind when I imagine someone who could perfectly embody Clayton. He's the total opposite of Timothée Chalamet in every way. Bigger, tougher, and exuding a commanding presence. While Cavill is widely recognized as the modern Superman, I personally think he shines even brighter when he leans into villainous roles. Take his performance in Mission: Impossible Fallout. He absolutely crushed it as the bad guy, and I'd love to see him channel that energy again, this time with a dash of jungle treachery. Plus, let's be real, Cavill and his mustache would bring the perfect mix of charm and menace to Clayton, making him a truly memorable foe for Tarzan. Now for the role of Professor Porter, Jane's quirky and lovable father, I'd go with Bill Nighy. You might recognize him from Love Actually, About Time, or Detective Pikachu, and honestly, he'd be a perfect fit for this role. Sometimes casting is about finding someone who looks like the character or complements the main stars. But in this case, I just think Nighy is a phenomenal actor who deserves to be in more films. That said, his energy already lines up with Professor Porter. Jane's dad is a mix of laid-back, uptight, and wonderfully eccentric, and Nighy nails that blend effortlessly, both in his previous roles and, let's be honest, probably in real life too. Plus, he's no stranger to working with motion capture characters, so he'd handle interacting with jungle animals or CGI creatures like a pro. Nighy would bring charm, wit, and a touch of heart to the role, making him a perfect addition to the cast. For Turk, I'd cast Leslie Jones, and honestly, it feels like a match made in comedy heaven. You probably know her from Saturday Night Live or Ghostbusters, and her voice has that perfect mix of endearing and just the right amount of annoying, exactly what Turk needs. While I was brainstorming, Jones's face popped into my head, and it just clicked. She's funny, loud, and has that kind of energy that could bring Turk's personality to life in the best way possible. As for Tanta, I'd go with Bobby Monahan. You might recognize him from SNL, or Me, Myself, and I. At first, I considered Brad Garrett, but his voice felt a little too deep for the role. Then I realized I wanted someone who could balance Leslie Jones's Turk and still have a voice that echoes Wayne Knight's original, without being a carbon copy. Monahan fits the bill perfectly. Plus, he's already worked with Disney on the DuckTales reboot, so swinging over to voice Tanta would be a natural move. Together, Jones and Monahan would bring a hilarious, modern dynamic to Turk and Tanta, making them standout characters in the reboot. Their chemistry could really bring out the playful banter and camaraderie that Turk and Tanta are known for. Leslie Jones would nail Turk's big, brash personality, and Bobby Monahan could perfectly capture Tanner's anxious, lovable charm. With Jones's humor and bold delivery paired with Monahan's knack for bringing quirky characters to life, this duo could add a fresh comedic spark to the movie while staying true to what fans love about these characters. Plus, their SNL backgrounds mean they both know how to bring energy and improvisation to their roles, which would make their interactions even more dynamic and entertaining. This pairing would add a lot of heart and humor to the reboot, giving Turk and Tanta the chance to shine as much as Tarzan and Jane. I can already hear their voices bringing these characters to life, and it just works. And that's that for today's video, folks. We hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more amazing content. Also, don't forget to comment below and let us know which things impressed you the most. Your suggestions for future videos are always welcome in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.